All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today. And this one, we'll be taking a look back, since it is now 2020, so 10 years of Walking Dead, at the top 10 worst episodes so far by aggregate score for the Walking Dead television series. Okay, and I'll put the link in the description so you guys can go ahead and check out the list from comicbook.com where they have it. And these are basically, if you guys didn't see our top 10 best episodes of the decade, or really it's just the top 10 best episodes of Walking Dead, period. And this one's the worst, right? Basically, it's from an audience submitted scores aggregate, meaning like a whole bunch of people, all of us have kind of rated these different episodes on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes and things like that. And so they've kind of compiled them together in order to give us the actual top 10 best and the top 10 worst. If you guys didn't see the top 10 best, I'll have it in the end screen videos after this one, so you can go ahead and check it out. And just to say, we won't talk much about fear in this one, but the worst episode ever done is rated as Channel 5, which is the second last episode of Season 5 of Fear. So it only got a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is like the lowest scoring episode of anything Walking Dead ever. But aside from that, we'll keep this list, the rest of the list, just the Walking Dead stuff. But if you're talking the worst overall Walking Dead episode, if you're including Fear, it's Channel 5, the second last episode of Season 5. No question about it. 17%. That's horrible. Just horrible. Okay, so starting off at number 10 with the 10th worst episode of the Walking Dead television series, according to basically all of us, I guess, everybody. It is the Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 5, Go-Getters. Now, I had to actually think back to what this one actually included, because I was like, I don't even remember this, but I do remember parts of it. This is one of those Season 7 episodes. If you guys don't know, Season 7 is kind of regarded as the worst season of Walking Dead, or at least 7 or 8, depending on what you like. But most people think of one of those two as like the season where a lot of people just stop watching the show altogether. So this one got a 6.8 rating from over 8,698 votes that were cast for Go-Getters. When I see this picture with Carl and Enid, I remember the episode, but it kind of makes me sad that it's in like the top 10 worst list, because they're both gone, right? And it's just, oh man, I don't know, because, okay, I mean, I guess it's on the top 10 worst ever, right? There wasn't much else in the episode, but this is the one where Carl kind of drives to see her and stuff, and they go rollerblading in the zombie apocalypse, and they kind of go to the hilltop, and Maggie's there, and she's, pregnant and everything, and so there's that, but I don't know, man. I mean, okay, yeah, obviously it's not a great episode, but for some reason for me, the Carl and Enid part, especially considering what happened with them afterwards, that's kind of special for me. I'd even watch that again nowadays, to be honest with you, just because I think it's kind of cute. So I know it's a top 10 worst episode list, it's like you can't argue with it, because it's like everybody's. It includes like everybody's opinion, so it's what it is. But at least for the nostalgia factor for me as a fan of Carl, for him to have like a girlfriend, they kind of go on a date in the zombie apocalypse, it's kind of cute, right? They're younger and stuff, so I don't know, but it's number 10. That's what it is. Number 9 is How It's Gotta Be. So that's the Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 8, and that is the mid-season finale for Season 8. Speaking of like the worst, the worst seasons, right? 7 and 8 right off the bat here. So a 6.7 with over 8,169 votes cast on How It's Gotta Be. So that is Carl's. When we find out about Carl, we find out Carl's dying, that whole thing. I think it's probably rated as one of the worst episodes ever, because people just didn't want to see that, And I know there's a lot of you guys too. I've seen this more and more over time. There was a lot of people who were younger when they started watching The Walking Dead. They were younger than me. They were around Chandler Riggs type of age when it first started, and when they started to get into it later, maybe when it got into some further seasons and stuff as they aged a bit, and maybe they watched it even when they were younger and stuff too. It's awesome even if you're a kid, right? Walking Dead's awesome either way. But they identified with Carl. He was one of their favorite characters of the show. And when he was killed off in Season 8, man, a lot of people just, they didn't dig it at all. They're like, oh no, they just didn't want to see it. And a few episodes after that, a lot of people did stop watching. So definitely understand that one, and it's true, man. Really sad to see Carl go at that around that time, and I don't think it did them any favors. I don't think so. So number 8 is Some Guy. So another season 8 episode. This is season 8, episode 4. And was this the one where Shiva is killed? Yeah, it is, by a small pack of walkers. And I guess I don't know. There was the 50 cal and stuff like that around this time. And maybe people were just, set the Shiva down, but they couldn't keep Shiva around because it was too difficult probably to do the CG. So how many scenes could she even be in anyway? So it was like, sooner or later they're going to do it, but it wasn't. Okay, yeah, that's probably fair that it should be on the list. It wasn't great, she kind of gets taken down sort of by not that many walkers anyway. It kind of felt like she should have been able to fight her way out of that. I don't think the effects were all that good during that episode, so this one deserves to be on there. They've got it number 8, some guy. Number 7, The Damned. Look at all these season 8 episodes, right? Season 8, episode 2, The Damned. So this is the one where at the end, yes it is, where they find that Morales has turned to be a savior, and there's all the gunfighting and stuff. They're shooting all over the place. There's all this crazy stuff's going on, and then to cap it all off, Morales shows up at the end of the episode. But I love this episode because he shows up there. However, it didn't stay that way, considering like the very next episode he's killed off Kimball. So So I think when a lot of us wanted to see him come back, we actually wanted him back in the show like for a little while, not like one episode and then have Daryl just kill him. But okay, whatever. So that's that one. Number 6, The Other Side, another season 7 episode. Season 7 episode 14. It's just like amazing how many of these are 7 and 8, right? So episode 714. So The Other Side, only 6.6. And this one you have Rosita and Sasha looking to avenge the murder of Abraham, right? So they're getting ready to kind of go after Negan and the Saviors and that. And you have Simon in that. It's almost like I have trouble even remembering what happened in the episode by itself, because that's kind of how just in the middle of things. I just remember like Rosita and Sasha kind of going out there, and then by the finale or whatever, you have Sasha kind of coming back in zombified format. So that's part of kind of her death, leading up to her death was that part. And okay, makes sense, I guess. Other Side, 6. But I did like how they did the one with Dwight and Daryl and not being sure of who it was, kind of in the shadow there. I thought that was kind of cool. Episode 5, or number 5, is Last Day on Earth. So that's season 6, episode 16. So that's the finale of season 6, where Negan kills the cameraman. And I think the only reason why this is here is because it's kind of a drawn-out episode, and it's kind of the biggest cliffhanger ever. Like, it leaves you, he's killed somebody, but you don't get to see who it is. And then, so it's, you got to wait until season 7. So I think it's only on here because it's a cliffhanger. If they'd have shown the death or who it was at first, the first death, then it probably would not be on this list at all. It's just because it teased the audience so bad that they were pissed off. So they had to put it on here. So that's number 5, the 5th worst ever. Number 4, the 4th worst episode of The Walking Dead ever is Time for After. What a surprise. A season 8 episode. Season 8, episode 7. And I guess this is the one with Rick and Jadis and the junkyard people and that, and kind of the crazy walkers that they had and stuff like this. I don't even know. I don't know, man. I don't even know. Spike Helmet Walker in gladiatorial combat while Eugene, conscripted as a member of the Saviors, was left to brainstorm a solution as the Sanctuary came under siege from a horde of walkers. So that one. I thought the walker with the spikes and stuff was kind of cool. At least it was fun in like a trailer sense. Like, it was kind of awesome in that way. I don't know. People just didn't like the the junkies at all, right? Number 3, Monsters, season 8, episode 3. So it's funny that this is like one of the worst episodes ever, because this is the one where Daryl kills Morales. Is it not? I believe it is, right? so this is kind of funny to me. It's like people were mad. It was like one of the worst episodes when he did come back. And then it was like the 3rd worst episode ever when he's killed off right away. So I don't know about this. Like, does Morales deserve 2 of the top worst episode spots? Maybe like if he survived on further, if it went somewhere, like if they brought him back for a reason, maybe it felt too much like it was fan service or something. I don't care. I still loved it. Whatever. But I do wish he would have survived on longer. So that's number 3. So number 2, the 2nd worst episode of The Walking Dead ever, according to the list, The King, the Widow, and Rick. Season 8, episode 6. So that's only a 6.1. And that is that the one where Carl is bitten? So after catching up with lone survivor Sadiq, Carl helped Siddiq put down walkers as a way of honoring Siddiq's mother, who believed the merciful act freed their souls. It was during this process of scuffle with a handful of walkers led to Carl receiving a bite that would doom him, resulting in the eventual death in episode 9, Honors. So that's second worst episode ever. Now, we didn't know in that episode that he was bitten right away because it wasn't too obvious. I mean, you could kind of like look at it and think, okay, maybe he was. It's just so stupid, isn't it? Like, what a stupid way to have Carl go out. Like, Carl's gonna die because he's helping this random guy who comes in, who's even been killed off now anyway. So it doesn't even matter. To just go around and kill walkers for no reason. Like that. Like, that's how it happens. Like, oh, no wonder why it's number 2 on the list. Makes sense. Season 8, episode 6, The King, the Widow, and Rick. Yeah. And then number 1, the worst episode of Walking Dead ever, is The Walking Dead season 7, episode 6, Swear. And it's rated at only a 5.6 with over 11,000 votes cast, making it the lowest rated ever in what is a whopping consensus here, considering you have 11,000 people voted this one as the worst episode ever. This is the Tara episode with Heath, which I actually, when I saw it, I didn't hate the episode. I was enjoying Walking Dead at this point a lot still in season 7 and season 8, even though I could recognize that some of the stuff in season 7 was a bit weak. But the bottle off episode of just having it be about Tara and Heath, and people being used to having Rick there all the time, or Daryl or some of the others there all the time, and them just kind of going with just those two, it just... people, well, obviously didn't like it. It's the worst episode ever, according to them. So that's it. That's the worst one. For it also makes me feel bad too because Tara's killed off at this point. I don't care. Tara is killed off at this point. So it's kind of like that's her episode. So that's kind of like her, probably one of her most proud moments of being in The Walking Dead, which kind of sucks. But oh well, the episode is what it is, and people didn't like it. So that means that still my least favorite episode ever is not on the list. I guess some people like that. Beth did have her fans, that's for sure, and it did have at least the useful line that Daryl might be the last man standing, which was prophetic in some ways, right, to see where we're at right now in the series. So anyway, that's the top 10 worst episodes of The Walking Dead ever, or of the decade, so to speak, seeing how many more years we get after this. Let me know what you guys think. What are some of the episodes you think are the worst they've ever done? I just gave you one for myself there. And... are there any others that you think should be on here as some of the really weaker ones? Are you surprised by the amount of episodes from 7 and 8? Like almost all of them, except for one episode, are from 7 and 8. And that one episode is the lead up to 7. It's the 6th finale, which really started off and then went into 7 with all this different stuff. So leave your comments below. Let me know what you guys think. Why is this? Why is it that 7 and 8 just had all these horrendous episodes, or people agree that all the worst episodes are from those seasons? Anyway, if you like the video, please thumb it up below, guys. You can share, you can favorite, and you can subscribe at the bottom left if you're new. I'll see you guys back again soon for another video. As always, this is Trev, and I'm saying peace later, guys. See you soon.